What's going on, guys? It's Northern Rides and welcome to another Planet Coaster video. In this one I wanted to challenge myself, so we are building a B&M Giga. I told you I would build every single B&M at some point, and I know the Giga is technically not another model because it is actually under the Hypercoaster name. Well, it is the Hypercoaster model, but you know what? I made the Mega as well, so you know what, I really wanted to make a Giga. I've been wanting to make a Giga for a bit of a while now, but it's a challenge to me because I am really not very good at building coasters at this at this size, really. Like, it's so tall and it's so fast, and for me that's just it just gets difficult to make the elements right. The first element I'm making here is also a very weird one. I've never made anything like this, and I didn't have any idea what I was doing getting into this. I was just making a turn and then was like, nah, this is not tall enough at all. This is way too much speed, so I ended up doing something completely else, and it looks very weird, it looks out of place, but I'm kind of happy with it. I think I made something pretty cool. So we'll see how it turns out. Just right off the bat, I want to say, if you've already noticed, the train only has 6 cars. That's a mistake. In real life, the two B&M Gigas, Leviathan and Fury 325, have much longer trains. Don't worry, later in this video I am going to be adding more cars to the train. It's going to have, I think I got it up to 10 in total. Which did increase the speed, and I already built quite a bit of the coaster, so I actually had to cheat a little and turn up the friction just so the speed would still be what I wanted it to be. So yeah, the two Giga coasters in real life focus a lot on the big turns and forces and like positive forces and all that. I wanted to do that as well, but I also did want to get some airtime in there, so this first weird element does end off with a little floater airtime hill, or like dive drop, something like that. And later on in this video I'm also going to be making another floater airtime hill as well as a quick ejector hill. I'm not going to be finishing the entire coaster in this video. It's a very big coaster, but the actual construction of the roller coaster will be a 2-part. What you're seeing right here is me trying to build a turnaround because the coaster is obviously very large, so it doesn't have a lot of space to go to. It fills out the entire park very quickly. And if you've noticed, I'm actually building in 8-meter pieces, and that's because if I try to build a coaster this large in 4-meter pieces or 5-meter, it's gonna take a lot longer, and it's also gonna be a lot harder to make it accurate. And before doing this, I made sure that it is possible to do somewhat well with 8-meter pieces. So I actually, before making this coaster, I made an Intamin Giga, and I would say that went pretty well. So I do have some practice with making coasters of this size with 8-meter pieces. When I get to the smaller portions of the ride, like near the end, I might go down to smaller pieces. I'll probably I probably won't go any further down than 6-meter, just because of how big the elements have to be. And both Fury and Leviathan, or well, at least Fury 325 still does have a lot of speed going into the final brake run. And so I kind of wanted to get some of that in there as well. If you saw a little of it in the beginning, you'll also see some of it when I changed the train length. The final brake run of the Giga coasters are quite odd, actually, because they have a straight section, then they go down a steep angle, and then they're straight again. And that's the exact same I wanted to do here. So as you can see, again, I'm focusing a lot on the turns. I wanted good sharp turns. I also didn't want them to have too many forces. I believe I do make a 4G turn here later on, but other than that, the forces are actually fairly distributed, like fairly even and balanced in on the coaster. At least the positive you know, the vertical forces. What you're seeing right here, the little stangle dive down here, I got that 100% from Fury 325, obviously, going over the pathway. I think that looks really cool. I really like that element. Also, another thing, not something you'll see in this video, but something I've been thinking about is making a wave turn on this thing, or a sort of thing. So Fury 325 does have its turnaround that kind of resembles a sort of wave turn, not completely like the RMC and my own GCI does it, but I do want to implement some sort of sideways airtime into this roller coaster. So you'll probably see that in the next video. So far, what is this coaster going to be themed to? Well, I'm not going to be telling you the name of it. I already do know what it's going to be colored and what name it's going to have. I'm not going to be telling you that, but I can tell you that it's going to be something medieval. That's also why I chose the Alpine map, because I wanted this to be set in Central Europe, like Austria, Germany, something like that. And so I wanted this to have a medieval theme. Now, what I've done with all my coasters so far is I have not actually done any real theming. For example, every single one of my coasters have the exact same station type. I just make a simple station with a curvy colored roof, and that's about it. I'm thinking about maybe making a custom station for this one. Now, don't take my word on that, because I might not, but we will see about that. So anyway, as you can see here, I am gonna, like, this is where I realized, wait a minute, the train is far too short, so I made the train much longer. I don't know if it got too long, but you know what, it's fine, I think. So it has a lot of block sections. Now on Planet Coaster, this wouldn't work too well because it doesn't have any mid-course brake runs. Also, you see two straight tracks right there. I'm actually thinking about using a fake trim brake right there. I have already made a fake trim brake, which I used on my Hyper Coaster. In fact, someone asked me about it the other day, how I made a very short trim brake, because you can't actually make realistic B&M trim brakes, because in real life they're extremely short and small, but in the game they have to be 8 meters long, which is completely unrealistic. I don't know why Frontier did that. So I made my own fake one. It doesn't actually slow the train down, it just looks like a brake. It's that 1 meter long, something like that, and I can place it on the track wherever I want. So I was gonna have that on the final brake run, because that's kind of what it looked like Fury 325 has, like some of those singular brakes somewhere, kind of like in the block brake, but you know, without the wheels. And this right here is essentially the Ejector Airtime hill. And then right now you're seeing me testing out the speed with the longer trains. This floater drop here ended up being an ejector drop. I didn't want that. The same with the floater airtime hill. It became a little too strong floater. It's almost ejector. So I turned the friction up to 1.1 just so it's a little stronger and it slows down a little faster. It's almost no difference. Like the difference in the airtime is like I'd say 0.2 G's, something like that. But it is enough to make the ride better, in my opinion. And anyway, we are about to reach the end of the video. Hope you enjoy it. I really hope you're looking forward to the next part. If you have any suggestions of something you think would be cool to add to this coaster, let me know down in the comments, because I have not figured out the entire layout yet. Otherwise, guys, it has been Northern Rides, and I hope, obviously, you all keep on riding.